Hola a todos. Hi there. I'm here at home. This is the video for everyone that is asking me to speak a little bit in English, because I had nothing in English almost. So I wanted to do a very short English video so I could explain you a little bit more about what I'm doing and explaining to everyone in Spanish about this path, about everything that is coming. We have been receiving emails from some countries in Europe and Indonesia, Australia, places from other parts of the world that they keep me asking why I have nothing in English, so I could explain to everyone what is going on. So this is the first video I will do in English because I'm trying to prepare a little bit my mind so I could explain better. The last place where I spoke English, it was in England, so I have this weird accent. So maybe this time in the United States I will have again the normal accent that everyone talks. What I wanted to share with you, to explain with you all, is that this year in February we are starting with the new path, with everything that we are going to do in the next 4 years until 2022. So in this 4 years ahead, we have this path that we call the I am. But in order to understand this path that we are going to take part of, I would like to introduce myself a little bit in English, because I don't know if there's many things in English right now about me. So if you people from the network, you could help me to spread the message in English to those people that are asking what I'm doing. So this video maybe help a little bit to understand what I'm doing, or to introduce myself a little bit in that language. So I'm trying to think in English. So the thing is, it's not my first language, so I need to think a lot of what I'm saying. So first of all, my name is Matías. So I am one of those that remember his past lives, or everything that have done before I was born. So in my whole life, I had this possibility to remember everything that I've done in other realities, other dimensions, and in other times and other spaces. And when I was trying to understand what was going on to me, I realized that every memory I had was to try to help others to understand themselves and to understand the universe through what I am explaining, through what my way of explaining, which occurs to be, I think, natural. And the way I was explaining this, it was more like a friend or a teacher trying to help another one from the family or another friend to understand the home where he came from. So I started to teach people, or to help to remember others and to understand others, how the universe and the earth works. So when I was 21, I guess, I started to make some workshops around the world where people were asking me a lot of questions to understand all the history of humanity and how the universe works. And when I started to do that, obviously everything in Spanish, I started to understand that every memory I had, it was not just to tell a story about what I remember in the past, but it was also something to explain what we have to do in the future. So what my mission is to remember. I used to explain my mission in this verb, which is remember. Remember came from the words re, which is return to, and member is to is the members, the parts of something. So if we are a unity, if the universe is unity, this unity became parts, separate parts. So in order to make those parts together again, we have to reconnect them. So remember. So that's why my work in all this is to remember not only the past, but also to reunite the parts of this whole. So the thing is that my mission during these past 10 years was to help others to remember, and also to travel around the world to put all those members together. And all these members together are the shapes of the geometry of the planet that are all disconnected around the world, which other ancient civilizations, which I remember I was part of, they used to know where to go to look for that memory, to look for that information, and they realized that every spot in the world has a tiny little part of that energy and that information of the whole. So we were trying to understand the whole, reuniting the parts, and that's what we call the planetary grid. The planetary grid is like a brain, like a network of thoughts that we are all connected in, and suddenly, somehow, we started to be disconnected from, because we started to doubt about ourselves, and also to have fear in between us. So the thing is that network around the world started it disappeared. So all these 12,000 years we've been like messing around, trying to understand what we were doing, and now we are remembering again. So many people, not just me, a lot of people, every one of you are starting to remember a little bit of little parts of it, like some memories of some lives or some parts of the universe or some dimensions or some information. So what we are going to do, or what we are trying to do, is to put all that information together and to find the other parts of ourselves into other people and into other places. So the thing is that when I realized that my mission was to remember those parts, also I was asking, so what is my purpose? So my purpose was to download that information at the moment we are all reconnected. But it's not just my purpose, it's a purpose that we all do together. Is the purpose to download the new information for reload the capacity of this planet to evolve. So we have to put a new information from the universe in this planet, and every part of this planet must be opened and connected to download this new information. So what I am doing now is trying to to end something that me, myself, couldn't end before in some life. So, which was to reconnect all that network, which I will show here, which is this one. So we have planet Earth, and this is the grid of planet Earth. So these are every one of the spots that we have to reconnect in order to open this grid, this planetary grid, and download all the information, like if it was a computer or it is a live being that needs to breathe new air, something like that. So we are the neurons of this being, which is planet Earth, and every one of us as a neuron need to be reconnected to that network so we could think different, so we can think openly, and we could have that new data so we could rebuild a new civilization according to the planetary evolution. So what we are going to do in the next years is to go around the world, to travel around the world, many of us, to connect those points in this trip, which I call YOSOY, which in English is I am, because the most important thing that we have to realize about this whole information is that every member that was separated is reference itself through the ego, which ego means I. It's not something bad. But when we have many egos, many I, we have many problems too, because everyone sees the only reality, the truth, through a different path, through a different way, from a different perspective. So when we do that, everyone thinks that has the truth, or that they see the only reality. So the problem is that we all have the truth, but a tiny part of it. So what we have to do is to put all those I together, and the only way to do that is to say I am, which goes beyond myself, is the self of the universe. So we have to put all those I together in one spot, which is the center, the core of the earth. And when we accomplish that, is the moment where every one of those spots around the world resounds with the same frequency, and then we start again. We can talk to the world, we can speak again to the world, and the world can hear us. The world, not the people, but the planet. So that's what 12,000 years ago there were some people, some priests, and that they taught how to speak with the world, how to talk with the plants, with the mountains, with the clouds, and they taught to people how to talk with them, how to talk with the planet, and they taught to them that the only way they can speak with the planet is if they speak with clarity within. So that's why they taught to everyone that if you reach the I am, is the only way you can speak with the whole world, just through you. So those people, those priests in the ancient Egypt, 12,000 years ago, the Atlantean Egypt, we call it the Arsayian. Arsayian. Arsayian is the name of those who speak to the world. So that's why in 2012, after I gave this trip around the world through 40 countries in the 7 continents, ended in Antarctica, December 21st. In all this trip, at the end of this trip, we created a foundation, the Arsayian Foundation, which for me is honoring those people from 12,000 years ago, that they are they were trying to teach people how to talk to the world and to create a civilization according to the planet at that time. So we are speaking now to create a new civilization, a new world, but we must speak with the world through ourselves. So that's why I created the Arsayian Foundation, which at the first step has the goal to help people to understand where we are, why we exist, and what's our purpose as a species in this time. So so that's why I'm going to I'm going to do the I Am project, and after that, the I Am project is the seed for the other project, which is this name is Isidris. The name is from a special place in Mendoza, Argentina, and this Isidris name is the Isidris project is for trying to help others to reconnect with the knowledge of a civilization which is alive and evolving, which I call the ontocracy. The ontocracy is a concept of civilization which is based on the being, on the power of the being. So that's why we must reconnect the being of ourselves and the planet through that network in order to get that new civilization. So the foundation wants to help people to understand this network and this reconnection we have with the planet, and also how to teach kids and youth to understand this reconnection and to bring this information up from them to rebuild a new civilization from the being to the society. So there are many things to talk about this, but I rather leave you the websites where you can have all this information. We already have the information of the YOSOY project in English for you. So I wanted to share the link with you so you can read it and share it and try to understand this information. So we will have more information in English soon, because in, I guess it will be February 17, February 17 in a few days, in 1 week or so. I will give a free talk in Maui, because somebody invited me to Maui in Hawaii. So they are inviting me, and I will make a speech there to speak about all this and ask and answer many questions about this in English. So for sure I will be doing this by live stream through Facebook, so you all can have it. So on 17th, so maybe a lot of people will have it on the 18th, because Hawaii is like the last timeline in the world, so everyone will be sleeping. But in the 18th, for sure, you will have this information here on my Facebook, and of course in YouTube, and also I will give an interview to Gaia TV, I guess, in 2 weeks or 2 weeks and a half. So they will also provide more information about me in English. So this is a start to spread the message also in English, not only in Spanish. I will speak always mainly in Spanish, because it's my main language, and I need more practice in English. And of course, there's not much people in English who I can talk to, but anyway, this is the first steps to try to reach to you and to share with you a little bit of this information. And at the moment that we are more people listening in English, I will have more of these chats and answering all the questions that you have in the English language. I would do also in other languages, but I would get crazy. So so let's start with this. This is like a resume of a lot of things that I would love to share with you, but by the moment I will give you this information, and also I will give you now the website, which you will find written there on this post, so you can share with your friends in English, and you can help me to spread the message and to help us to do all this project, because we need you to walk aside us and to also to help us reach all these places and create the material for that school, for those schools, to Isidro's project in the next years. So we are working for the awakening process, not only spiritual, but also we are trying to bring that spirit here on earth, because we are not trying to escape this reality. We are trying to be responsible of our creation, because we as the spirits, as the divine, decided to create all this to understand ourselves. So we have to be responsible of what we have created. So that's why we are not doing this to enlighten ourselves. We are doing this knowing that we are enlightened, but a little bit crazy. So we must to reunite all these parts of us to understand a little bit better and not to be lost in this creation that we have done with such love. So I hope you enjoy following this path and following these stories and these projects, and well, I hope I can share more information soon. So thank you very much for being there, and thank you very much for listening and for sharing all these projects and this mission I have and I share with you. Thank you very much, and see you soon.